Hello everyone, I'm Ron Grant coming to you live and direct from Tortola in the Virgin Islands. You're watching 284 Media. Thank you so much for your time. The month of March in the Virgin Islands is being observed as Agriculture and Fisheries Month. A part of that month of activities includes activities and exhibits for the entire Virgin Islands. This year's theme is Sow the Seeds of Sustainability, Youth Fueling Food Security. I'm honored to be joined by the Junior Minister for Agriculture and Fisheries, Dr. the Honorable Carl Dawson. We'll be right back after a quick commercial break.
Start the year off with more speed, more downloading, more savings, and more Fire. CCT Fire Fiber Internet gives you the speed you need to keep the whole family connected. Packages starting at $119 with speeds from 300 megabytes per second, super fast, unlimited downloads, even more reliable connectivity, plus free live streaming TV for the family to enjoy. Sign up for the absolute best fiber internet service in the BVI CCT Fire and pay no installation fee. Plus, get CCT Live TV for free. You deserve more. Get more with CCT. Life Unlimited.
Orange alert! Fire is spreading across the BVI. The fastest, most reliable, and affordable fiber internet service is here for you. Look out for fire in these new locations: Slaney, Duff Bottom, Manual Reef, Seacows Bay, Albion, Hannah's, Palestina, Pleasant Valley, and Havers. Fiber is in your area. Call 444-4444 or visit a CCT store to find out more and bring it home. More locations coming soon.
Welcome back everyone, and thank you so much for sticking with us. As promised, we are today discussing all things Agriculture and Fisheries Month. Joining me is Dr. the Honorable Carl Dawson, Junior Minister for Agriculture and Fisheries. Honorable Dawson, thank you for your time and welcome back to our studios.
Great to be back again, Ron, and greetings to all the viewers.
Wonderful. As I mentioned, the month of March is going to be observed as Agriculture and Fisheries Month in the Virgin Islands. And a part of that month includes exhibits and activities for all Virgin Islanders of all age. Tell us about the observance of this month and what persons can look forward to.
Thank you, Ron. Again, it's. I must say that I'm really excited about the month. Certainly, I believe that there is a brighter future ahead for agriculture, and we must take some positive steps to make sure that that future happens. But as far as what we're doing this year, I am excited about it. The team at the Agriculture Department decided to have exhibitions on all 4 islands on weekends this time. You would recall, and many viewers would recall, that in the past it was 1 week, and Tortola would have the Saturday and the Sunday.
Correct.
And all the other islands would fit in on a weekday, which limited the number of persons that could, say, attend the activities because it's a working day and take that trip. So they moved it to a weekend situation where each of the 4 major islands has their own weekend for their activities. And I believe it's a good opportunity for persons to move around from island to island and see what is being shared. So I thought it was an excellent initiative. In addition to that, though, we thought that given that it's a month, it also gives us opportunity to infuse other things into the month. So, for instance, we will have a community conversation around regenerative agriculture. That's going to focus a lot of attention around things like how do we manage the soil? How do we conduct agriculture given our environmental circumstances, the effects of climate change, increased droughts. So how do we have a climate resilient agricultural practice? And additionally, things like composting, and those types of initiatives will be featured in that regenerative agriculture conversation. We'll focus, of course, mostly on the farmers to attend, but it will be open to the general public. That takes place actually on the 13th of March, Wednesday, and we will be announcing the likely venue and the exact time as we go along. But I'm very excited about that conversation because another aim that we're trying to do here, Ron, as far as agriculture is concerned, we know that government provides support and should provide support to help the industry. But we also believe that community. That is to say, the network and community of farmers, that some of the practices and the experiences that one farmer has had can help others. I think it was something that would have been something cultural, where there would have been a greater sharing of information years ago, when actually communication channels were less, but we would have had people sharing more information, sharing crops, sharing seeds, sharing cuttings, and so on. I think we went away from a bit from that to a more individualistic type approach.
Agreed.
And we are now trying to move back to more community, so we can share. And when we share, it's not just information and experiences of us as individuals, but we can also share scientific information, what was learned in another country, another part of the world. So that is one of the main thrusts as far as that activity on the 13th. We also have, as you mentioned, in the opening, there's a theme around youth,
yes,
as far as agriculture, and I'm excited about that too. And I'll talk a little bit about the ESHS
farm,
and also what's happening in the primary schools. But to say that on the 20th of March, we also have a session for youth, where we will be have invited various schools of agriculture in the region. I visited the School of Agriculture in Guyana, as well as University of Guyana. I visited the College of Arts, Agriculture, Science and Education in Jamaica, and of course our own university. Well, I'd say our own as far as the Virgin Islands is concerned, but our own University of the Virgin Islands is right there, and they are their agriculture program, I would say, is taking off right now. So we plan to have presenters from all of those coming in an online setting, to allow our students to understand the opportunities for education in the agricultural sphere across the region. Of course, they're not limited to the region, but we certainly would want to make them aware of what is available in the region. Another addition that we've had to the month is that we're going to have on the 23rd, Saturday night, we're going to have a gourmet dinner featuring all local products.
Okay.
Whether it is, I've seen a draft of the menu. It may include a bit of pork, it may include a bit of chicken, mutton, and of course fish, but also all our root crops and vegetables that are produced in the island. And Chef Henry Prince, the team gold medal winning coach of the gold medal winning team of the BVI in the culinary competition, he will be leading that effort. But we also have, and I can't give you all of it right now, Ron, but we're working with another organization to see if we can increase that number of gourmet dinners from 1 to about 3 or 4.
Okay.
And again, it gives people that sense of what can be produced here in the BVI. How can we take our traditional dishes and spruce it up a bit? And what we want is to be able to have restaurants and household consumers starting to see creative ways in which local products can be used, which will create greater demand for our local products. Once a restaurant puts it on the menu that it's locally produced, it better be. So they must be sourcing local products from the various farmers.
Understood.
I will branch out from there to say that where we are now, I think that we will have demand will far outstrip supply.
Okay.
That is, say, what is being produced now.
Are we prepared for that?
Well, that's where I want to go. Right now, I would say no. Okay. I think that demand is going to be exceeding supply, but that comes to the plans that we want to put in place. Addressing, for instance, the situation with water at Paraquita Bay, where we have a reservoir. The project is in place. We're doing geotechnical surveys, and we expect that our reservoir should be up and functioning by the end of the year. Simultaneously, we are working on the distribution network, again, which will help us as far as distributing water in Paraquita Bay, regardless of the source, whether it is from the reservoir, other sources, even from wells. We want to be able to have a sound distribution network to ensure that everyone can have water. And again, so that in itself will increase productivity in our largest single agricultural space. The government has also recently been working on the Crown Land policy, and as a part of that too, we're looking to see what other areas can be designated for agricultural production, not necessarily at Paraquita Bay. And again, with that, it's a matter of the key resource in agriculture, a key resource I should say, is land. And certainly having more land available, we hope will increase production. I said a key resource because we know full well now where agriculture is now. People are planting in a container, people are planting in their bedroom, they have a whole hydroponic system. So there are other options. And we want to be involved in training as well. During the month, we have not nailed down the day, but we are currently a part of a project with the OECS related to agriculture, and we're hoping to have one of the training sessions during the month of March.
Wonderful. I have to go back, Honorable Dawson, to the activities. Specify for us, the exhibits are going to take the place on weekends on different islands.
Correct.
So specify for us, what are we starting with? Are we starting with Tortola and so forth, so persons can be aware of when exactly the exhibits will be on the various islands?
Yes, so the exhibits start this weekend on Virgin Gorda.
Okay.
The 2nd of March, Saturday the 2nd of March, we start on Virgin Gorda. And on Virgin Gorda, the exhibition site will be located in the North Valley, about halfway between the Methodist Church and the Nurse Iris O'Neill Clinic. So on Virgin Gorda, we'll have the exhibitions. We'll have our traditional opening ceremony. We got to be able to go up and say what we have to say, right? So, but in addition to that, we will have there are things for children, bouncy castles, I think mechanical horses, the various exhibits, and I'm feeling good about the exhibits over there. A number of farmers have indicated it's tough, but they're going to put their best foot forward and they're going to come out and show what they have. Our partner with us on this in our activities has been Rosewood Little Lakes Bay Hotel.
Okay.
So they have been the hosts of a community marketplace, a farmers market on Virgin Gorda for the last few months, the first Saturday of the month. So our exhibition fell on the first Saturday in the month, and we had conversations with them, and they agreed. They said, okay, we will not host ours at our site as we have been, but we will come and join you at your site, and also, of course, encourage the vendors that would have gone to them.
Understood.
And not conflicted in any way. They all come to one site. So Rosewood has been really good with us with that. Another activity that we'll have on Saturday is we're going to have farm tours. We're going to have farm tours on Virgin Gorda. And I mentioned Rosewood because that's one of the sites that we will visit. They have a small-ish garden farm, vegetables, root crops. I think they're doing chickens as well. And they are planning to expand that fourfold. He showed me the area that they expect to expand that. So again, they will be producing it, and it's reflected in their menus in terms of what they're offering. They want to be able to produce whatever they produce as well as what they purchase from local farmers, to be able to put farm fresh food on the table. So we'll in that tour, we'll also be heading out. We'll be visiting 2 hydroponic sites. Agri Paradise, which is getting more and more popular. They produce excellent lettuce. And we also have Ian Joseph has an operation in the valley, a hydroponics operation. We'll be there. We hope to visit Bongo Warner's farm and also a young guy, Avery Felician, better known as Yoshi. So it's going to prove promising to be an interesting and eye-opening farm tour. So Virgin Gorda is looking to be an exciting place to be this weekend.
And you have begun with this Sister Island of Virgin Gorda. Wonderful.
Correct. The next stop will be on the 8th of March, Friday this time. It's going to be an Anegada. We chose the Friday just because of the ferry schedule. It just facilitated it more. So we'll be on Anegada again, seeing what they have. And I should mention that what we've incorporated in the various exhibitions are some food competitions.
Yes, I noticed.
Right? And I think I have my hair. We pull up on Virgin Gorda. We have our fish soup competition.
Okay.
So, no, Virgin Gorda, we have red pea soup competition this weekend. Red pea soup. So a number of people are already registered. So that's another thing you can look forward to coming over to Virgin Gorda or coming out from Virgin Gorda and taking the samples of the red pea soup and of course purchasing when the competition is over. On Anegada, we're gonna have you might guess it, a fish soup competition because they are such a seafood hub. So we'll have a seafood competition over in Anegada. When we turn to Tortola, which is the 16th and the 17th, which is the traditional two-day event, we'll have a Marby competition, and we'll also have a Fungi and fish competition there as a part of that activity. We haven't determined what we will do, if anything, on Joss Van Dyke.
Understood.
They are on the 23rd. Their exhibition. So again, we invite people to come over and enjoy what is offered. Sometimes if you take a day, there's enough time to do the exhibition and also take part in other things that the island offers.
Honorable Dawson, we spoke about the theme, which I have to reiterate. It's Sow the Seeds of Sustainability, Youth Fueling Food Security. And a part of that youth conversation, which you mentioned, will be taking place. But I have to ask you, can you speak briefly about the work that is taking place at the Elmore Stout High School? I hear some really, really great things are going on out there on the front of farming.
Happy to do so, Ron, because I'm very pleased with what's happening up there. The team are working with some enthusiastic students, and we're just trying to find ways in which we can assist them to help achieve their goals. They recently had an exhibition which came out very well. Unfortunately, it was off island, but I was able to send some remarks, and I've seen the pictures. Now, on this coming Saturday on Virgin Gorda, we are pleased, and a kind of a opportunity for them to see something else, but in my view, a sort of a reward. They work hard and deserve to be applauded for what they did. So the ministry is going to pay for that group of young people to go over to Virgin Gorda. They will be able to see the exhibition, and importantly, I think they'll be able to go on the farm tours and get to see what farming is like on the Virgin Gorda. So I'm really pleased about that aspect of the initiative, because we do want to open the eyes of our young people as to the possibilities in farming. The traditional way is great, but things are changing, and there are going to be opportunities, I believe, for our young people. I mean, one idea that we were just thinking about yesterday is that as we seek to grow farming, what's going to be very important is extension work, understanding what's happening with each farmer, understanding how much is being produced and so on. And we're looking at the possibility if there can be a sort of an agriculture core of young people who can work across the island, helping some farmers with that data production, because some people may not want to interact with the technology to get the information in. Young people can then fill those gaps.
And so have an opportunity to shadow these farmers.
Exactly. And they will have that chance to interact more, learn more, and build that sharing community where information will be transferred from the older to the younger, and even from the younger to the older. There may be some things that they've learned at school that they can share as well.
And I have to ask you in conclusion, before you go, you, along with the Honorable Premier, were part of a delegation from the BVI that attended the annual St. Croix Agriculture Fest. Tell us about that experience and if there were any takeaways.
That was a great experience, Ron, going over to AgriFest on St. Croix. The things that were key for me, obviously seeing the exhibits and seeing what they were able to produce, but also seeing the commitment. The University of the Virgin Islands, for instance, is a tremendous asset to them in terms of the scientific knowledge that they can bring to the agricultural sphere on Virgin Gorda. It's a close working relationship with the Department of Agriculture. And you find that also, in addition to scientific information, for instance, related to watersheds, the guts, where water flows. It's information that we need because water is our biggest issue, and we need to be able to harvest it as best we could. But in addition to what I just mentioned, I think that it gave us a scope as to what our future exhibitions could be. And so we were very keen to take note of what was taking place. But more so, they have developed their plan and approach through a local community farming initiative. And it shows they have some very clear goals and plans and principles, and those are things that we will be looking at. For instance, when we have our conversation around regenerative agriculture, I'm hoping that that would be one in the starting of conversations related to agriculture that would help us to fine-tune where it is that we're going. We know that there are certain things that will have to happen. We believe that that government must facilitate agriculture, so there's going to be a need for us to try to get more resources to provide support in terms of technical support and even resource support for persons in the industry. We believe that that growth is going to take place through community, that there must be a network of farmers helping each other. We believe that training has to be a part of it, and our policies related to the availability of land and our water policy, the availability of water. I think those are the foundations that's going to grow a greater and a brighter future for agriculture in the BVI.
Understood. Well, Dr. Dawson, agriculture and fisheries, of course, is a major part of our conversation. And we do thank you for coming and speaking on the Agriculture and Fisheries Month. Of course, we here at 284 Media do intend on participating and being a part of the various exhibits and activities. So thank you so much for your time.
Great. Thank you very much, Ron. And again, I invite members of the public to starting this weekend. We're on Virgin Gorda. You can get your tickets. You can buy a tour. You can buy a tour to take part in the farm tour. You move to Anegada on the 8th. Back to Tortola on the 16th and the 17th, Just Van Dyke on the 23rd, including our gourmet dinner on the 23rd on Tortola. And on the 30th, we'll be doing the farm tours on Tortola, as well as the Wahoo Mania tournament, which take place on Virgin Gorda.
Excellent. Viewers, that's all the time we have. Do have a wonderful rest of the day. Goodbye.